Hello, my friends. This is Elena Rosalind Michelle. You may call me Elena, Lynn, Lynette, Myra, whatever, as long as you call me, right? Well, I kind of wanted you to get into a heart-to-heart to kind of let you know my journey and where I've come from. So, I come from two abusive homes, growing up and also being married. Now, even though I was growing up into an abusive home, I didn't have like a lot of issues with weight until I got married. Now, before I got married, I had I wanted to say it was like a 34-inch bust and an 18-inch waist. So I had this really great hourglass shape. And the other thing was, shortly after I was married, my ex-husband had me sign a contract because he didn't see me work out, that he was assuming I wasn't working out. And the contract was I was supposed to work out 3 times a week for 30 minutes a day. And I always thought that when I got married, that I married the one who was supposed to love me for who I am, what my looks were. Now, I had enough charisma and talent to be a model. I wanted to do a photo shoot model, and I decided against it because there's just things in my religion that I wanted to be modest, and I wanted somebody to be interested in me and my intellect. Well, when he had me sign that contract, because I couldn't work out in front of people, even in the 8th grade, if people remember me from the 8th grade living in Hawaii, I ran in muumuus. I played golf in muumuus and in dresses because my mom made me wear dresses 3 times a week. I did not change or work out into workout clothes. When I was a senior in high school, I had to make sure everybody was out of the bathroom in order to change to play in PE. And that was when I was a senior in high school. So I was very shy, I was brought up to be extra modest. And signing this contract because this person couldn't see me work out really had an effect over me for how I even looked at myself. And I rode horses a lot back then. I owned one, and she had a baby and had another baby shortly after. But it got to the point where I just told him, I was like, you're stealing my joy. I blurred out truth a lot. So I was like, don't be surprised if I'm doing a workout video and something blurts out. There's a lot of truth to what I say. And he literally not only stole my joy in horses, and he also stole my children from me as well. And but I still have a strong bond. Follow me on social media, my other YouTube channels. I go into in depth on my turning point and how I conquered and the effects that had over me that put my body into trauma. So here I am, 35 years old, and it was 3 years after having my youngest baby, and I was like a size 14, and I used to be a size 9 in high school, not petite, regular size 9, and here I am, size 14. So 35 years old, I joined the military, and guess what? I went from a size 14 down to a size 9, basically like 2.5 sizes, and I was still at 160 pounds. And when your fat turns to muscle, you may not lose the weight right away. So I maintained 160 pounds for 6 months after I got out of the military. But guess what? I put on so much weight that it went from 160 pounds to almost 200, was it 249 or 250 pounds? And I was still working out. I don't have a problem eating well and eating right. That I've always maintained. So I had a problem with trying to find out with my body how to get over getting past shrinking back my body. because I was going through a lot of stress. I was doing, oh my gosh, I was taking pills. I was taking all kinds of things to get past the stress. I learned that I had post-traumatic stress from what my ex had done to me. I had already released myself from the stress of what my trauma was during my childhood, and that actually propelled me to go into the military. But here I was, going on 36, lost a lot of weight, and then it come back on, and it's prevented me from pursuing a military career, because I wanted to be a military intelligence officer, and I was on a profile where can't run. You have to walk a certain amount of time, or swim or bike, and my commander would never sign the paperwork for me to go forward. And then when you get into the military for, I think it's 5 years in your field, you become an expert in your field, and I wanted to be a military intelligence warrant officer. But guess what? You had to have time overseas, and because of I couldn't pass the weight or the inches, that nobody would take me overseas to get the field into. I had to have at least 18 months of experience overseas in a combat zone. And even though I volunteered, there was only one position for my field, going in with a military company or battalion. And by the time my battalion went, I kind of was X'd out. So, which is okay, because I guess I wasn't supposed to go overseas during that time. So, and I'm okay with that. I mean, it really helped with the money wise. But I would have been in trouble, because I am a truth sayer. I will always tell the truth. And if somebody asked me, I probably would have gotten chapter 15 and people not happy with me, and that's fine. You can't help the truth. When the truth is always out there, it has to be said. So I really believe that during my experience in moving down here to Arizona, which Arizona is one in the whole state of the United States that protects people from domestic violence. And that is the number one big reason why I am down here. And I've been down here for almost 9 years. And actually, it's been 9 years. 2019, I moved down here at the end of May of 2010. So yeah, it's been 9 years. And I helped a family with their trauma, and hoping to get enough affidavits and witnesses to go and get my children. But of course that didn't happen. And now they're graduating, and I got one more who's going to be graduating. So I'm working with what else to do down here. There's a lot of limitations in me physically. So in the military, I had fallen, and I actually hurt myself. I locked my pelvis and my upper spine locked open, and it took a while to see a physical therapist. And he was able to unlock my pelvis, he unlocked my spine, but not my pelvis. So I went through like 6 months of excruciating pain, ended up having a bulged disc. So, and I also had a horse roll on top of me when I was 16, and rolled on top of me 3 times and put my hip out. And then again I think I was 19. So 3 years later, I was playing softball and knocked my hip out again. And of course, I wasn't keeping up with myself after my first child. So when my second child came along, my hip would not stay in during that pregnancy. I was seeing a chiropractor who was doing sound therapy, electric shock therapy on me 3 times a week during my pregnancy. And I was very hormonal sick, where I had morning sickness 9 months with her. So it's like, I love you. if any of my daughters are watching me, it was all worth it, okay? But I still have arthritis in my right hip. And when I tell people I have that, they tend to look like, oh, you're walking okay. Military also broke down my feet. I have high arches, and it's taken a long time to build them up. Plus, working with client horses, I've had a couple of them break my toes on my left side. Three toes were broke, which is okay, because that's just part of it. And when you want to do something that you have a heart's desire to do, sometimes you just go out and do extra things just to do those things. So mine is dancing. I love to dance. I've danced ballroom dancing, the two-step, I've done foxtrot, I've done the schottish and the Virginia reel, and I've taken classes in tap and ballet when I was really young, and then my senior year in high school, I took jazz. I love dancing, and so for my Mother's Day gift to myself, I bought a Groupon ticket to Belly Dance Tucson and started belly dancing. And man, the things that the doctors told me in 2007, 2008 was like, I was gonna, at the rate that I was gonna end up being in the wheelchair. And here it is, 2015, calling them liars because I'm not in a wheelchair. All right, I'm still walking. I'm still dancing. I had different parts of my body. I started with Teresa Tap a couple, like in 2013, 2014, to help me get back into using my body. So Teresa Tap in her T-Tap workout is really great if you don't have a lot of issues with your lower back. It's helped me break a lot of calcium deposits that was in my hip and in my spine. And yeah, where I felt them go poosh. And then I was kind of worried going, oh my gosh, what if one of those things gets stuck? What if those things get stuck and, it hurts me or whatever? But it never did. And then in belly dance, doing the figure eight, right? You moving your hips into figure eight. It was kind of like there was a skip in a record or a skip in a CD where it just like it went to a certain extent and then it stopped. It completely stopped into that rotation, into that muscle work. And so I really had to work with it slowly to get that to finally smooth out. And there was another calcium deposit. And so I was able to do that. But guess what? 2018 rolls around, and here it is, February 20th, and we got a new, I was working in a corporate retail store, walking always on cement. And this hurt my hips a lot. And I will show you all of my inches lost and the weight from I think it was from 2010 or maybe even sooner, that I was going up and down, fluctuating so much, and it didn't help continue to working on cement. It hurt my hips. If you know anything about being in the military and being a female, is that you have the risk of hip fractures. They don't tell you that. So I literally have, had hip fractures that nobody told me about, but I'm walking on cement for so long, and to my hips, I can feel it. I'm very in tune to my body, and that's why I just don't like the medical profession, because they don't tell you everything, because they don't know everything. They don't know your body. And pharmaceuticals don't even get to going there, because don't take anything that gives you side effects. I tell you what, I do not all natural. I do holistic before I go to a regular doctor, and that's my choice. So I'm just going to share with you my choices and the effect that it's had on me and my body. So February 20th, new leadership who's supposed to be like for you in this family oriented here, improve your health and improve working together as family and improve all this stuff. But here, I want you to do something that your body is not used to, and you have to do it for fear of you losing your job. All right. So yeah, it went to that extent, and it's like, I don't want this here the next time I come in. And I went and lifted something that was 25 pounds, and I literally did not bring it down right. It was too much for me, and I literally, the pounds dropped me like you're dropping an anchor into the ocean. Whoop. And guess what? I ripped not only both sides of my buttocks, my hiney, I ripped it. I didn't sprain it. I ripped it. I ripped all that muscle, all that connective tissue, and also on my hips, both all the way down my hips. And I'm still feeling it today. It's been more than a year and a half later. And don't go to, if you're in Arizona, you have to, when you're in so much pain, it's hard to talk to someone, and there's like nobody there to support you. There's no advocate for you. When you go to see these doctors, these work from Concentra here in Arizona, and I was telling them I'm in so much pain. When I get home from physical therapy, I can't walk because it was a 35-minute drive. I could not drive. My bosses wanted me to keep coming to work. Family oriented, didn't even tell me about intermittent leave of absence until almost 8 weeks in, for fear of losing my job. And because I couldn't work the schedule that they had me, I couldn't walk. And also, if you're here in Arizona, you need to get 3 doctor's notes that cover 6 days in a row in order to get wages lost, because I lost everything. There's still bills out there a year and a half later that Concentra, not Concentra, is the Cedric Claim Company, has not even covered yet. So I had to go back in and open up the claim just to get these bills covered, right? And then they didn't even do MRIs or x-rays on me. None. So here I am walking and doing my own physical therapy. I went for physical therapy for, I think it was almost 12 weeks. And I wasn't able to do anymore because they had to go back to the claim company. They have to get referrals. They have to get okays. Then I was okay to see a specialist, but I started a new job. I had to quit the other one because I was also diagnosed with tachondria, which is like panic attacks. I was having panic attacks going back to my work. I was fine 3 days at home in a row, but every other day my heart rate was so high. They kept asking me to go on to heart medicine. They kept asking me to do all the stuff, and I'm like, no, because this is work related. And I kept telling him, this is work related. It has nothing to do with me physically. It has everything to do with me going to work. So I was having panic attacks, and I've had panic attacks before. And in fact, I learned about panic attacks when I was in the military, talking about returning veterans from overseas, from the war zone. I learned about post-traumatic stress when I was in the military. So that was like one of the big things that I believe that I was put out there in the military, and to learn about these things so I can help other people, right? Because when you're in it, you kind of know all the symptoms and how to, get past that. So how do you go from not walking to somewhat walking and to lose weight? And so my next job, I had to leave the other job of retail because I can't walk on cement. I had panic attacks. I could not form a sentence like I am now, how fast it was coming. It would literally take me 30 seconds to form a 5-word sentence. And I had to really concentrate. All right. So it was kind of strange. So guess what? I went in and I got hired to do booking appointments for trail rides here in Arizona. Have to laugh because the manager who hired me should probably never have hired me. And guess what? The first day that I worked there, I had to ride a horse. Here it's been 3 years. I hadn't ridden a horse, just because my hips hurt, and I was getting your right leg over the back of the horse, and that was the first thing I had to do was get on a horse. And of course, you're gonna say yes. So my friends who are now my friends who are my bosses, I'm sorry about that, but it was actually the best thing for me, because then I learned being on a horse for 1 hour, I finally got rid of sciatic pain. I had sciatic pain on my right side that went down to my ankle and onto my left side into the first part of my hiney. right? Because you have nothing holding anything in because your muscles are ripped. Have you gone and seen, like pantyhose, stretch, and you stretch for some more and then you get runs? Yeah, those runs are breaks into your muscle. And my muscles were broke. They were stretched. There was nothing left in my muscles on both of my hips and my complete lower back into my glutes. And when I say I blew my glutes, I literally blew my glutes. I had no glutes holding on to me. And a little bit of physical therapy was not helping because they were doing everything backwards. So when I was riding a horse and you get into that rolling motion and the horse is working for you, you actually get rid of inflammation, right? Because inflammation is the number one killer for arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, carpal tunnel. You can get rid of all that by getting rid of your inflammation, stretching and learning how to stretch. I cannot do yoga. Even today, I cannot do yoga. I cannot stretch out my tendons so that I can actually do the stretching. But when I get on a horse, the horse does it for me and I'm good for the rest of the day. So I have learned to ride the horse 3 hours a week and I was good. And that my body would get sore and it's like, okay, I need to get back on the horse. Well, by September of last year, this was 6 months later, I was riding a horse from 4 hours up to 8 hours a day, riding a horse and walking up and down stairs. And then I got home and I didn't know how to duplicate it because then it was cold. I was looking for a job. And now in 2 weeks, I've only done the workout 2 weeks. So I'm going to show you 20 minutes. I've only done 20 minutes and I'm already losing the inches. So once you have fat has turned into muscle and you have muscle burnt out or built back up, then it's easier for your body to remember to maximize the inch lost, because your body innately, intelligently wants to be healthy. I know I'm like, okay, yeah, this is a rebellious part of me. Your body wants to have a straight spine. Your body wants to be healthy. So it's, promoting different kinds of action that actually will promote this healing for you. And that is what I will demonstrate into my before and after pictures. And it's something that's for you because it's a whole inner body workout. You don't have to go and lift weights. You do not have to push yourself. The doctors wanted me to be 50% to be healthy, to get off of this. And I don't even think I'm even 40% a year and a half later. So, yeah, there's just ways. Just stop forcing your body. You can eat whatever you want, but it's always healthy to eat the right things. I don't do smoothies. I don't, because it actually makes my body want to throw up. So I've found that even working with the horses, riding 8 hours a day and eating junk food, that I still lost 20 pounds. And I have how all my inches are in my next video on the weights and measurements and how to measure yourself for this goal. So write down some of the things that you have been struggling with. Like, it was really painful to have somebody write a contract on me when I was younger because they didn't see me work out. What the hell is that? Then they gave rid of my horses. So, well, they forced me to get rid of them. So they'll never say that they did it. But riding horses, I lost more inches and more weight than actually going out and working out, because I've been doing it the masculine way for so long. And a lot of our things that we've been doing has been totally masculine. This push, no pain, no gain. Okay, well, what I'm going to teach you is that, yeah, you're going to feel it. okay? Because your body is completely out of shape. Or like me, you have really hurt yourself. But this is good. You are going to learn to listen to your body. You're going to listen to how far to take it. You're going to listen to when you need to start doing this again. This is a workout that you could do twice a week. 5, 10, or 15 minutes each time. This is not about how many numbers you have to do, how many sets you have to do. This is not that type of workout. This is imitating the horse in that nice and rolling, rocking motion that is going to work your whole inside of your body. You're going to be transformed and changed, just like if you were on a trail ride, just as if you were riding to have fun and pleasure riding. There's different ways to hold yourself for maximum inches lost while the horse works for you. And why is it only 15 minutes long or less? Well, because if you're on a trail ride with a real horse, the horse is working for you. And all you're doing is holding yourself a certain way and relaxing your lower back. But in this workout, if we're imitating the horse, so you are using the weights of the horse. You're using the rocking motion to get that same thing. So you're getting a double effect, actually quadruple effect, because I would recommend an hour horse therapy ride than doing a 15-minute workout that I'm going to show you. So if you're able to go on the trail ride, hire me to teach you how to do that trail ride, because I have taken a lot of my clients on trail rides in the Midwest and did this going up and down hills and relaxing on the flat areas, and they felt it. They have felt because you're going to be sore anyways, because you're using parts of your body that the horse is exercising for you. But here it is that you're going to be doing that. And they felt it. They felt it. Even somebody who was over 300 pounds that was on one of our bigger boned horses, almost like a draft horse, and he even felt the effect. 300 pounds, and he felt it. And I bet you within 6 months he would lose at least twice that amount of weight and all that fat, because that fat would turn into muscle. Oh my gosh, this is so great for your spine. It is so great for breathing and your heart and your lungs, because you're breathing. And then it is also great for lower back pain, because I still am I feel like I'm still at 35 to 40% healed. And that for a year and a half later, I I can't say anything more about that. There's days that I want to dance. Okay, that's my goal, is I want to dance again. I can't dance for more than 30 seconds. I can't, because then I feel it the rest of the day. I will show you tools that I use instead of stretching out in yoga that will help, and with massage, so that you will feel warmed up to do this exercise as well. If you are somebody who doesn't have a lot of pain, but you want to learn something different that will exercise your inner self as well, this is a great tool for you. So I see a lot of people who are handicapped. You want to have a couple people working with you. If you're overweight, you want to have a couple people working with you to help you, because there's a certain height that you have to be on to imitate the horse. So get ready, because my next 2 videos, one will be doing the before and after pictures and how to do the measurements. There will be a download for that video to download it to your phone, as well as 2 pieces of paper, logs that you would want to download as well, and make a couple of copies to mark your progress, the end of drinking water and breathing, because we don't breathe enough here in the United States, and maybe you are like that in your country as well. So get ready to share. Get ready to make your comments. I want to know, what is it that you are having a struggle for? Because mine is a yo-yo. right? Mine is the yo-yo, not in just the weights, but also the fat. And putting fat on top of muscle. And what is your goal? Is it to get into that beautiful dress or that, pair of jeans that you've been wanting to get into? Are you going to a wedding? Are you, going to celebrate an anniversary or a special birthday? Those are all great occasions for you to expand upon and to have rewards. Mine is I want to dance for 3 minutes without stopping and without pain afterwards. That is my goal. And I want to do that by Christmas. There is a hula that I have made that I haven't been able to perform in front of other people because I was really quiet back then and shy. I only did it in front of family and close friends. So I want to put that on YouTube. And I want to, choreograph. So some of the things that I will show you in the workout, we're going to learn the hand stuff. And then hopefully after like 6 videos, so in 6 weeks, it will come down into adding your hips and into taking steps to do a belly dance. Very simple, very easy, but this dance you will be able to do. And I want to thank my inspiration of teachers other than Teresa Tapp and Charlotte Zeems, but also Kitty Sharif with A to Z Belly Dance, and Sharon Ibrahim, I think is how you pronounce her name. They're both from Australia, and they do the balanced belly dance fundamentals. Sadie Marquardt, she is the inspiration since she's been on America's Got Talent. I love her to pieces. I was still a beginner belly dance when I finally started dancing almost 10 years later, and I got to meet with her and talk with her and pictures with her. I was so excited. And then Jessica Walker with Belly Dance Tucson, who showed me the fundamentals and the technique. So you don't have to know technique when you're doing this workout. You just, just the openness and wanting to learn, because it's going to be fun. It's not going to be to music. So you won't have to learn the beats. It's all going to be learning left and right side. And some of us may not have been that coordinated, but you're going to be having fun. So this is Elena Rosalind Michelle signing off. Thank you for your hearts. And again, thank you for subscribing and sharing. Did you know that videos can be embedded into your website or into your blog? So feel free to embed this into your own blog. And also, you want to like and share it. You can share it on Pinterest. You can share it on Twitter and Instagram, on Tumblr, all these Facebook pages. And you want to follow my new Facebook page, Freedom Equine Therapy of the Faux Kind. Faux because it's an imitation of mimicking the horse. So thank you all, and we'll see you again real soon.